Yes, this is LaserBolt, and welcome to today's video, guys. Today, we're going to be breaking down one of these subclasses found within the Technomancer skill tree. It's going to be extremely important that you understand what these subclasses are going to offer, how they're going to change your playstyle, what type of weapons are going to be benefiting from this, and where you could actually get a big buff and increment to your playstyle. So really important, guys. As you guys may already know, the Technomancer has a total of 3 different subclasses. One is Pestilence, one is Techno Shaman, and the other one is called Demolitioner. Today, we're going to be breaking down the Pestilence and letting you guys know exactly why you definitely might want to inspect almost every single point that you have in your skill sets for this subclass. Now, if that sounds like something you're interested, make sure you guys drop a like and let's rock and roll. Now, before we do, I do want to remind you guys about our January giveaway. We're giving away 1 free copy of any game that you want for 2021 for any system of your choice. To enter and participate, it's super duper easy. All you got to do is click the pinned comment and be a subscriber to the channel. And that's it. You guys are automatically entered. So good luck to everybody's participating. The winner will be announced on the first week of February. Let's go ahead and dive in. As you guys may already know, and I said earlier, the Technomancer has a total of 3 different subclasses. Today, we're going to be diving into the Pestilence subclass and why. And I'm also going to tell you guys why I consider this one to be one of the most favorable subclasses that you're going to want to make sure you inspect on to. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what this has to offer. Now, in this particular subclass, guys, we're going to be benefiting a lot when it comes to weapon damage, and you guys are going to see the majority of these skills are going to be benefiting from that. So the first one is called Br8 Impact Amplifier, which is going to increase your weapon damage by 8%. Really important, because if you guys are going to be using a lot of weapon gameplay, and you're not going to be doing too much skills, you're definitely going to want to inspect into this one. Next up, guys, remember, each of this one's going to cost you 1 point. Okay, so you got to keep that in mind, guys. Now, next up, guys, we have this one right here, which is going to be Suction Model, which is going to allow you to increase your weapon leech by 5%. Basically, what weapon leech does is that is the amount of health you're able to get back from the damage your weapon is outputting. So if your weapon is outputting 10%, let's say, this is just going to give you an additional 5% more to that percentile of health you're getting back from that weapon. So really important, giving you the nice flexibility of survivability. The next one we have, guys, is called Sour of Decay, which is going to reduce the Decay skill cooldown by 15%. Now, one thing you want to make sure you guys take into account here is that the fact that just because you are running different abilities, and you spec into this one, you're going to have to run these 2 abilities, which are considered Decay abilities, which if you run other ones, you're not going to be getting that, that cooldown by 15%. So only 2 of the skills that you have, or 2 abilities that you have, are going to benefit from this one. And those are going to be these 2 right here, which have the Decay ability. Next up, guys, we're going to go into what I believe to be, if you love snipers, this is definitely going to be one that you want to spec a lot to, because we have the first one right here, which is called Sniper Master. Now, Sniper Master is going to increase your sniper weapon damage by 20%. Really important. But what makes this even better is that you're going to also be able to get your sniper weapons dropped by 12%. That means that if you're trying to farm or trying to get a lot of snipers, there's definitely one you want to pick up, because this is going to allow you to get more sniper rifles with playing this character. So really important you spec on here, especially if you're going to be running snipers. Next up, guys, we have Drill Coating, which is going to increase armor piercing by 10%. This is not extremely important at the early games. You might get away with skipping this one, even though I think you got to spend a point on this one to actually get this one right here. But this is just going to give you extra damage for armor piercing. Not really important at early game, but as we get towards the end game, it's going to be extremely important. The next one we have is this one right here in the bottom. Now, this is only used whenever you want to go ahead and jump into the other skill tree on the bottom. Even though you can inspect on all these, technically it's not considered part of this one, but I added it because there are a lot of benefits that you're going to be able to get from this for the rest of the tree. So we have increased critical damage by 15%, especially if you're sniping. You definitely want to pick this one up. You also have exposing toxin, which every time toxic is applied to an enemy, vulnerable status is applied as well. Really important, because in this game, you're going to be getting rushed a lot. And being able to apply two main things is going to be extremely important. If you could apply toxic and vulnerability, oof, it's going to be crazy. Now, in addition to that, you could also inspect another point into this one, which is called Mark for Execution, which is going to apply vulnerability by 40% more effective. So that means they're going to be a little bit more vulnerable. Next up, guys, we have this one, which is going to be called Nitrogen Capsules, which is going to increase the distance considered to be long range. Now, this one's going to be extremely important because if you want to run a sniper rifle with this character and you want to run a assault rifle with this character, you're going to want to make sure you get this because currently your assault rifle is not considered a long range weapon. But if you're able to decrease the amount range of what the game considers a long range weapon, it's going to be extremely important. So let's say 50 meters out is considered long range. That's going to get reduced by 6.4. So that means that's going to drop you to like 43, like 44%, this rounding off. So if your assault rifle is 40 meters, you're still not considered long range, but if you pick this one up, you're getting really close. And you'll see why this is important as we move along the skill here. So then we have Toxologist, which is going to toxic applied on enemies lasts 30% longer. So that means more damage over time to that enemy. And then we also get another damage increase for weapon. So really cool. Of course, you definitely got to pick that one up. Then we have this one, which is called Cannonade, which is activate ordnance skills, increases your weapon damage for you and your allies by 30% for 10 seconds. Now remember, this is only important and should only be picked up if you decide to run ordnance skills. If you're not running ordnance skills, then there's absolutely no point in you picking this up. But I highly recommend it because how can you say no to 30% more weapon damage? I mean, come on now. Then we have the other one called Blue Screen. Your health regen is increased by 20% of maximum health when you receive no damage. So basically, if you're not getting damage, you're going to be getting health back, which is really important because if you're going to be popping up your, ordnance or you're throwing out your turrets, you're going to be getting a couple of health back by that if you're not taking any damage. So really cool. Next up, guys, we have Nitrogen Capsules, which is going to decrease the distance considered long range. So remember, we are at 44% with our assault rifle. Our assault rifle is a 40-meter weapon, and in order to consider it a long range weapon, we have to get to 50, right? So if we already knocked down that 50 threshold to 44 with that extra 6.5, it's going to knock it down by 13 points. So we're at 50. It's going to bring it down to 37. So at 37 meters out, if we have a weapon that's 37 meters and higher, it's going to give us the advantage of making that weapon be considered a long-range weapon. So this is where assault rifles come into play because we're going to be able to convert an assault rifle to a long-range weapon, which is really crazy and really important that we pick this up. Next, we have Purge, which is enemies afflicted with Toxic receive 10% more damage. Once again, if we're going to be applying Toxin and we're going to be popping in those Toxin bullets that we're able to do, it's going to give us 10% more damage. Then we have Engineer, decrease turrets health decay rate by 30%. Really important, guys, because you're going to want to make sure your turrets have as much health because not only are they effective at killing enemies, but they're also effective for taking the center of attention from you and focusing on them. And the more health they have, the better it's going to be for you in case you need to escape or you need to, do some sort of, so you need to do something before you actually get shot. All right, so there we are. Moving on, guys. We have this one right here, Assault Master. Now, what this is going to do is going to increase assault weapon damage by 20%. And it's also going to allow you to get 20% more chance of getting assault rifles dropping when you open loot boxes, when you kill enemies. So really important, very similar like the sniper rifle, but we cannot say no to that 20% assault rifle damage. Come on now. Then we have, guys, the other impact amplifier, once again, increasing our weapon damage by 8%. So just by picking up these two, we're already at 28, in addition to the other ones we already picked up, right? Then, guys, moving on along, we have Assault Adept, which is going to increase the assault weapon damage by 12%. So really, really good. So once again, guys, more tapping into that assault rifle damage. So let me go back right here so you guys can just see that. Just by doing these three, we got 20. We're picking up 28. We picked up 12 right here, guys. So we are already, this is going to give a 28 right here. That's going to be 30. And that's going to put us at 40% just by getting these three right here. Really, really easy and super, crazy, crazy, crazy. So extra 40% just by picking those three. Then we got increased sniper weapon damage by 12%. And moving on, we have a drill coating, which is going to increase the armor piercing, which theoretically we don't need, right? Because not in early rounds, but at late rounds we are. But we could theoretically skip this one. Then we have this one, which is called Two Sides of Power. Increased damage taken by 15%. So that means we're going to be a little bit more tanky. And damage dealt by 20%. So we're going to be doing more damage and becoming more tanky. Why not? Let's do it. Then we have Grand Amplification. Increase your anomaly power by 12% per each Impact Amplified Skill Nut. So remember, we have the Br8 Impact Amplifier Skill Nut, okay? So that's going to increase your skill power or your ability power by 12% for each one of these that you pick up. So I think we picked up a total of, let's see, we got, there's one here. We got one. Okay, we got two. And I believe we got three. Okay, so we got three. So that's 8%. Okay, 16. Well, here, so we got that one right there. That's 24. So that means, guys, when we get to this one right here, we have 24 damage of the BR, right? So that's going to be applied to your ability power, okay? By 12% for each one. Okay, so since we got a total of 3, that's going to be applied to that 12%, which is crazy, crazy good. And that's crazy, guys. Come on, man. How are we going to say no to that one, guys? Come on. That's almost over 30% more damage. Then, guys, we have sharpshooters, I should say, increases your long-range weapon damage by 30%. Now, remember, this is going to apply to your sniper, and it's also going to apply to your assault rifle if you guys went ahead and got that decreased range. So really crazy, really important. Then we have increased weapon clip. Now, this one's going to be important because there is an ability in your class that allows you to put toxic bullets into your weapon. So if your clip is 40 and you pick this one up, it's going to put your assault rifle to 60 mags per clip. That's going to make it a mini LMG. And if you apply those toxins, because the toxins only apply to, to one clip, that's 60 bullets that are going to have that toxin effect, giving you that vulnerability and that damage over time. Really crazy, really OP when put together. Next up, guys, we have the charge gunshot, which is going to fire first bullet after reload, heals 20% damage for 5 seconds. Really good. Then we have enemies afflicted with toxin, receive plus 30% damage. So basically, if we have those toxin bullets, we're going to be picking up 30 damage extra and additional, right? So next up, guys, we have the one that I'm going to call the super subclass ability, which after you guys spend all your points on this subclass, you're going to be able to get this one, which is called Empowering Antenna, which what it does is when you have Decay abilities, all right? When you have Decay abilities, you're going to be able to increase your party and your weapon damage by 40% by 10 seconds. So theoretically speaking, if you place this down, if you put down your turret and you are using the buffs for your sniper rifle and your assault rifle, you're going to be able to get additionally 40% more damage, not only you, but your teammates as well. That's pretty crazy. And that's why I tell you guys, I believe that this subclass is going to be extremely, extremely powerful when it comes to playing the Technomancer, because it gives you a lot of buffs to your sniper, a lot of buffs to assault rifles, and a lot of buffs that not only you're able to tap into, but your enemy is able to drop to. In addition to that, it gives you an increment of being able to get more assault rifles, more sniper rifles by speccing into these abilities. So really crazy, but you do want to remember, you're only going to be able to use Decay, and you're only going to be able to use, I think it was ordnance abilities to make sure to have, to have the most potential when using the skill tree. So do keep that in mind. Now, we are going to be breaking down another subclass for the Technomancer. We have 2 more to go. But who do you guys want to see next? Do you want to guys see the Trickster subclass being broke down, Devastator? Let me know in the comment section down below. I do guys hope you guys are finding these videos helpful and informative. If you are, do me a huge favor, guys, drop a comment and a like. And don't forget, guys, for more Outrider content, make sure you guys keep it locked here, and I'll talk to you guys later.